Right, we've got a little bit of tape to look at. Where's your mind going?
I'm looking straight at Akia. I mean, the desk touched on it. This player was absolutely explosive, and she looked so comfortable on this map. So I'm sure that Shopify Rebellion have all their protocols ready to shut down a Jet. And this agent hasn't been meta on this map in quite some time. But Shopify, look at this comp as well. I mean, both teams are bringing out kind of unconventional looks to start here. Now, we know that KC's double initiator comp will absolutely be ready to set up Akia for success here. And it looks like Shopify, they want to get mid-control really quickly.
Yeah, but it's Glance waiting. So, seems very aware of this and already deals with a lot of it. Looks behind and clears deeper in towards middle. So again, good information and somewhat denying that there's pressure there. They can now maybe reattune their focus towards this B side. Because Shopify Rebellion are
What
here.
a shot.
Mel with a great start. That's the site now ready. Yes, GX is close, but handled. Oh man, all those cries suddenly getting a little bit quieter. 5v3, and the plant gets to go down.
Oh,
Down. They're getting two there.
Just a little bit of misdirected mid from Dodonut, and you saw that it drew 3 defenders from KC all towards mid, but it was just a ruse.
Spike
Shopify,
planted.
they were already regrouping towards that B main, and now Safa, she's just got to be sat here wondering, I mean, how many exits can I get? Let's just collect some orbs, maybe collect some money, but Timmy the Turret position has been revealed.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty tricky. Could actually get the kill on Dodonut there, who was happily on the hunt. Wanted to min-max her potential and a couple of kills. So yeah, starting to build towards that ult. That's something in their mind. But as a start, Shopify set the tone, right? Once we get into that server, they've set the tempo. But I do want to look a little bit towards Dodonut as well, because again, just have a little look here at that start of
That
it.
entry.
Lovely from Mel. That's
Yeah,
really
on the
nice.
Lucilia, just falling like that without any utility.
remaining.
Sure, it was a great shot from Mel, but the anchors on these sites, they've got to do a better job at getting the information so they can actually posture for a defense here.
We're going to have to learn quickly. This will be a very clean round, I imagine, if all goes right. Only classics.
That crowd.
Something, isn't it? But Dodonut still landing shots. And I think when we first saw her, when you're rolling your mind back to that first series, up against MIBR, kind of a bit more of a role player, kind of filling that void really well on the waylay. Doesn't have to be the headliner, kind of seeing the likes of Neuer, Sarah pick up that slack between. But this is already a very explosive beginning.
Uh-oh.
Nice, but well traded. Not letting this get too threatening.
Listen, Lauren, these anti-ecos always get my heart going, but well handled for surely.
Spike
And
planted.
Dodonut, she's low, but she's going to be okay with it. Now, I expect SRG to go through and try to collect these eco kills. As soon as you can get that Your Ultimate online, you can really set the pace, set the tone. So I expect Dodonut to perhaps drop that Outlaw over to Alexis and go hunting for more here.
Yeah, let's see if that happens. Actually looks like Alexis is already creeping up middle as well, looking to box them in potentially.
She wants her own orbs.
It might be a give it up. Yeah, fair play. Probably the right shout.
Last player standing.
And yeah, gonna opt to just dip away from this clean stuff from Shopify, making it through with minimal threat. Yes, there was a kill on the site, but quick trade, not letting that spiral out of control.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see how Carmine Corp approach this round, because on the pistol round, you saw this Viper wall, Neuer getting up close and personal and already gaining all that ground because of that deep wall with just a little bit of misdirected mid. So for KC, they're going to be looking for information. They've got double initiators on the extremities. KO needs to use that knife to let them know, especially on this bonus round, where SRG want to start. Generally speaking, these rounds, they end and start really fast.
Looking for that info early. Again, intention displayed towards middle coming out from Shopify. Dodonut willing to posture up a bit, take some space, put a couple of bullets down and working behind the utility so far. So limited information for KC, but they're just kind of playing this one out, but they have lost a great deal of mid. There's that knife, and actually pretty good. Gonna keep Dodonut present on this, but no further pressure. It's Neuer slipping up deeper. The barrel shown, and of course she's gonna find it. That got a little sketchy. Glance does get the kill, but by now it's already leaning over towards that B-side take.
Very similarly to the pistol, it's just a ruse. They're drawing out all the defenders to be distracted towards mid, but look at the space that Dodonut's able to get. Mel falling on the back lines. That's gonna make this post plan a lot more difficult, but they should be able to get the spike down here.
Yeah, again, it is just a bonus, right? So you have to recorrect mentality, but a decent amount of weapons remaining that could be an issue. Looking for light shields, almost none to be found. That's fine, that's good actually. Keeps that Outlaw from being able to run havoc. Eyes on Sarah though, this Bulldog being played in from the attention on side, but doesn't quite get the shot. Swung on, glances there, and KC building back in with 4 alive. Donut can do nothing. KC for standing and first on the board, giving that crowd a reason to chant.
Clean, clean, and that's exactly what you want if you're on the defense side of Carmine Corp, especially considering how that pistol round went. You gotta love this KO suppress coming through, that mid-round information that they found, completely stopping any sort of plan that SRG had going. But I did really appreciate the look coming through. You saw the Q orb coming through from the Viper on Noya's side, completely blocking off that line. And because you lose HP, you get decayed if you go into it. It really allows the attackers to get up close and personal before you're able to even find any information. So well handled coming out here from KC.
And I'm starting to wonder, though, if Shopify just fall back into that, I don't want to say trap, but that look of, okay, we'll go everywhere else on the kind of first couple of rounds, but once we get into the buys, it's going to be that A spam over and over again. But deep positioning, and actually it was well read to an extent, but Casey still draw blood first. Alki is going to find Mel, and that removes a lot of the potential for those later round calls to come in here. Smoke's now gone.
It does, but you know, the attackers will always favor a 1-for-1 trade, and that Omen blind, that paranoia, it comes out so slow. So really well handled for Alexis. Got the pre-warning that that sort of early round aggression was on the way, and now SRG, they just want to cut noise, and they need to capitalize off Noya's Q orb, blocking the lines in mid here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Alkia, though, potentially able to swing into this. Wonder how much information she might get as well. Very minimal steps heard at this point, if anything. So you can see it's that almost full reset, right? Pop of the ult, that's going to be Dodonut looking for information and taking a lot of space towards A. That's only going to be one player spotted, but Alkia's position still valuable for one. It's all now going to be seen. It's this crunch towards A. One player back of the site is GX. Potential to do work. Gives away position, pop, flash, slips away. This is nice, but can't do better for Dodonut, who has been up in lights so far. Such impressive impact, and now into the post plant. This looks solid for Shopify.
That Yoru kit doing work to get into the site. Now, 3 versus 2 post plant. They are in optimal positions here. Casey have to do so much work. Safia, she's able to clear it out. That dart's not going to give too much information here. Yoru's just able to TP away.
There it is, right? It's kind of those layers to this. It's going to be really hard for Casey to now dig those final 3 out of here. He's still got the turret to get through. The smoke's in play. Owl drone layered in. Could get the tag if needed. I like the idea, but it's not going to work out. Shopify reset incredibly well. That initial contact, Alexis, brilliant to get that pick right back in, and then that re-hit towards A.
And you mentioned it, Lauren. In the beginning of the round, it was a great read from KC. I like the proactivity. They knew that SRG, they wanted this A-main orb, they wanted to contest, but either way, SRG, they're able to just slow things down, and this is where they shine. That experience coming through from Noya, from Mel, the long-standing members, they love it when they're able to mid-round and play mind games with their opponents. So for KC, they've got one more healthy buy before a huge reset comes out in this first half.
And it's a similar start right there. They've got the same implications. Very different look in the fact it's just Noya on this solo mission. Previously, we've seen Dodonut here now.
So confident.
Scythe comes in, but Noya's happy on this. Sticks around further. No other support in middle behind her either. She's in a real predicament. Flash was fantastic. Clears middle, but it's a sight hit towards B. Dodonut again. The tip of the spear is sharp today. She is doing serious work for this team. And again, you look at Glance, already having to respect this. Can't really step through towards site by any means.
Yeah, already had to use that recon for some sort of stopping power to try to tee up Safia, but that's just going to delay things in this retake, especially after that peak.
Alexis, normally the unsung hero in this team, right? Feels any role. She is just going for it. And why not send a message? Drop the bodies. GX, it's time to back away, but I gotta look at this team, right? Because again, Shopify, this rebuild with Dodonut, it looks like it's working, and we're seeing all of the stars starting to shine. Dodonut on these entries has been great. Noya has been clutching up so often. Those stats were ridiculous leading to this moment. Again, Sarah in this new meta looks exceptional. And I mean, Mel is the brain of the bunch. We don't need to sing her praises. The glazing is unreal. But for Alexis to have a little time in the sun is great to see. She's a player who doesn't often get the credit I think she deserves sometimes.
And you're seeing a really straightforward game plan coming out from SRG as well, right? We've seen multiple 4-1s coming through that round. I mean, SRG knows that they are in KC's head. They only send Noya to kind of be that distraction in mid, early break down that vent. And that 4-1, 4 groups towards that B main once again. Sure, Noya goes down, but that's the early information and this immediate reaction coming out from Dodonut and Alexis. Comboed with that Sova Hunter's Fury. It's just a beautiful thing.
Man, Alexis is just on fire. So forcing an early timeout from KC because I feel like they've been trying to be forceful in their approaches. They've been trying to take those, again, that A main fight, I didn't even mind the idea of it, but I feel like they haven't quite got a grip on what the plan is. These 4-1 splits, these attention drawers towards middle, they haven't quite got that read they want to. So timeout comes in. The purchase isn't going to be pretty here either, though, so it's going to be hard to maybe implement some of those lessons after this timeout.
For sure. If I'm KC's coach right now, I'm letting them know, hey, let's not even force here. We need to get that operator on the board online ASAP. Get it into Alkia's hands, and we need a pocket KO. Earlier on, we saw that proactive aggression coming out with an Omen blind. This time around, I'd love to see the beauty of the KO pop flashes. It's the most powerful flash we have in this game. Get some range on yourself, and reactionary flash, right? Find out where SRG want to take control from and set up a trap in the mid-round. So we'll see if KC have something like that planned. You see that shorty in Alkia's hands. That gives you the idea she wants to get up close and personal this round.
All right. A little something. So far, silence at the start. We saw previous to now KC happy to go for a deeper fight towards that slow paranoia coming through. This time, no early contact, no early information. And it's a similar scene though for Shopify. They don't know if there's pressure on the other side. It's going to be one of those sort of half-buy rounds. You never know if there's some weird stuff going on. So simplistic from Shopify so far, hyper-focused towards the A side.
I like this hero rifle in the hands of GX. You can see 2 members of KC close by. They want to flood onto this site.
Big knife.
Onto their anchor.
Gotta know now. Maybe still a little bit worried that there could be an additional player, but a pop play from GX breaking the ankles of Dodonut on the swing there. Now looking for the follow-up. You can see KC piling in. They want a brawl, but it's Alexis again, still standing. Mel dealing with the wave, crashing towards the site. Just one left alive, and Shopify equipped, it feels like every single time. And this is a hard way back through. Alexis just holding the space on the back of the site. The other 2 playing a little bit safer in the post plant. There's not much to be done here. Safia, a very tough predicament.
She's even got to wait out this Q. Just going to decay her down. Almost gets the timing, but Alexis able to just secure that one. And things did get dicey because KC had a strong game plan going into this low buy round, but SRG were always ready for it. That Pong to the ping to the Pong. Mel was always anti-flashed, and these were the protocols that we mentioned coming into this series that for KC's side, they're not going to have as easy of a time. Shopify have been refining and working on these protocols all year long. And look how clean Alexis is making that kill look.
Oh, man. Okay, couple of big ults, though, in play for KC. This is a huge round for them. You got 3 impactful.
They're trying to fake this mid control. Oh, but that's a huge pick off of Noya. Now KC know that it was just a ruse.
Yeah, these 4-1s starting to become a little bit, I guess, readable at this point. Alkia not being afraid to let a couple of those bullets fly.
Covering it.
Posturing up, but 4 players now here. They've got ults to play with if they want this, but Dodonut finding GX super early. I think that, I don't know if that was just blind or above the site. Alexis! Quick on her feet. Dodonut still waiting for someone to pour through on Heaven. Outthrown there, Flash comes in. Finding 2 though! How did Sarah fall at the same time? Alexis tries to be called upon, but it's all on Mel. A 1v2 needed. Safia not even gonna let that start. The 3 players remaining for KC, proving they got a fire in them now.
Beautiful opening pick coming through here for KC, and I'd love to see a replay, hopefully, of how Noya went down. I think it was off of a pop flash play, or GX just outgunning her 1v1, but either way, that gave everything that KC needed into this round. You saw that early flood come through, and I love that they're going on to that win condition that we saw on that low buy. Right after that pause, the ride or die coming through for the defenses, following through strong here.
Yeah, and only using one of those ults as well is kind of big, right? You can snowball off this now. Glance investing hers, that's fine. Still 4 to play with, still got that operator in play. Now time for adaptation back from Shopify, right? You've heard that operator, you know what they're up to. I'm seeing an operator out for Dodonut as well, and GX trying to do the same thing.
Again?
I mean, that was ambitious to go back for seconds. And it's not just one this time on the other side. Sarah's got support.
Almost getting away with murder again, though. I mean, Sarah, that was quite the flick. And SRG are going to be happy with that. For KC, they need to find an equalizer. Alkia, unfortunately, just procs her dash, but either way, she still has the knives in her pocket. Definitely expecting some sort of reaggress, and you're seeing it here from Alkia, but what a shot from Dodo Nut.
I mean, that's huge. Yeah, that's a problem. Because look where the other 3 players for KC are, even with this buy, even with the ults. Very hard to be in the right place, and it's still being faked out. Sarah's still trying to keep them dedicated here. Don't know how much information she got, if she even saw one, but still, they've got the right call.
Absolutely. Mel is just calling a masterclass right now. Getting full map control, being thorough as ever.
And you can just leave Alexis in these sort of deeper positions, get what you can, do some damage, control the map. There it is, but cleared. Safia going to give them a shot forward, but how far do they even hunt on this? That operator is such a prized possession.
Absolutely. That's a little early from Alexis, giving Casey a little bit of a second thought about whether they want to re-go for this, but that Viper's Pit sound cue is really, yeah, that's going to solidify things. And either way, KC, we're never really going to go for this. This is a great time for this team on the defense to sit back and kind of recollect themselves in a round like this, though. I mean, these last few rounds have been high pace, high pressure, and the win cons that KC went over in their last pods were spot on.
Yeah.
So I'd love to see the side of KC kind of recollecting themselves here.
They got that opportunity, right? No one's really hunting that close. They've had a couple of seconds just to talk it through, get that mindset right, get locked in on this, find a solution. Now, easier said than done, don't get me wrong. But it feels like that mid-round aggression, there was a window of chance where you could already there with Sarah just like flicking back around. That felt almost unlucky, but again, Dodo not finding that, creating the space then to just springboard towards A. Big information, they worked with it well. I don't really see an easy answer, right? I don't know what the solution is. I mean, they've still got a purchase here to play with. They still have those 3 ults. I just need another round. They've only got 2, and it feels like those 2 have been pretty far apart by this point.
Yeah, and I think KC's on the same wavelengths as you, even repeating the same strat that they did 2 times in a row. So I'm glad to see that KC are changing things up. Early dash proc once again from Alkia, even though the drone doesn't see anything. She's gonna want that dash a little bit later in the mid-round. Unfortunately, not rewarded with an opening kill either, and that operator being spotted at A main is so much information for SRG. You can see the spike already moving in T-spawn, shifting towards that B site.
Yeah, very much being dragged over there. And it's the right read. And with Neuer's position, this gets a little bit harder. They've got that 3-man play towards middle though to try and crunch this, but Alexis cracks open the site. And then the follow-up as well. It's like watching dominoes fall into place. Good reads, good calling, and great site approaches. That's the only answer back we've seen so far. And once again, it becomes that poison chalice almost for Alkia with that operator. You still want to save it. You still want to have it going forward. You're probably going to call the save already.
Yeah, the poke and prod from SRG is so fantastic. The op protocol is coming into place as soon as that information comes through. SRG are not going to leave any chances up for grabs here. Not going to let Alkia heat up in any way, shape, or form. And this was a player in their opening match that we talked about how loose and free and flow statey we saw this Jet getting into. But these protocols from SRG are just not giving Alkia any chances.
And I'm glad you highlight that because, look, the first time we saw KC up against Zipto on Abyss, Alkia looked fantastic, right? It was something that was enjoyable to witness, but a totally different beast when you're playing Shopify.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's definitely one of the reasons why this Jet has kind of gotten out of flavor on this map, right? The Yoru definitely has been that sexy flavor for the past 6 months, and for good reason, right? The Yoru is able to really reset so easily, going from the other side of the map in just a split second. So that sort of mobility, it's really hard to replace. So for Alkia, she needs information from the rest of her teammates to be able to arrive to where the attackers are.
Yeah, this is going to get tougher because it does feel like they're starting to hit a bit of a brick wall here. And Shopify haven't seemed lost for an answer by any means. They found solutions on the fly. They dealt with that operator well. Do they get to do it again? Similar start, similar look, but no deep exploration coming in from Alkia with that operator sitting a little bit deeper on site. Close enough
here
for the knife to come in. Should get some confirmation of attendance. How much do they read into this now? They've been conditioned to be worried about that 4-1 split. These fakes have been coming in, but it does look very all-in. A big opportunity for Alkia. Right place, operator here. Ult gonna come through, that's an issue. She will have to respect this already. Evacuating the site.
Everyone getting off to the side, and Dodonut has a clear line, but look at this. The rest of her team weren't able to get in. It doesn't matter though. Dodonut on top of the site. The crossfires are already getting created for SRG here.
Yeah, almost given too much respect, given too much room to work. Freedom found. Fear being shown by KC. And a double stack towards heaven. Sarah eviscerates Glance. Oh, it's too easy. Shopify Rebellion locks the hell in. It's Neuer on the operator now. Hell, just give it around. It's just Safia left alive. And maybe can go down swinging. But I doubt the round will go any other way. 8 gonna be carved on the board for Shopify. They are in full control.
And worrying signs for KC. Up until this point, it has been absolutely neck and neck. And this is the first time we're seeing the defense from KC just not willing to fight. A little bit of confidence being shaky. And they need a reset ASAP, because this snowball is just going to get bigger and bigger as we go into the second half. These last 2 rounds are so important for KC.
It becomes a necessity, right? It's not just a nice to have. It's not a, okay, maybe. It's a, we can maybe get out of a pistol round. We can make it through the second half with a chance. Held on to, it would not be enough.
I like this aggression coming out for Alkia. She's gonna get in. We saw the pop flash coming through. They know now that nobody is in A main, but look how fast Shopify are. Already into the site. Safia has so much on her plate.
Yeah, and no one can really help her either. Yeah, it's a quick trade. Nice work actually from Glass, playing from the try box. Lovely pick towards Sarah. First time to have their players in the right place from the back of the aggression from Alkia. Good info on that. But Alexis and Neuer
Last player standing.
just down to 1. Clutch potential off the charts, and the first gets claimed, and Alkia makes it there in time, and they get a small bit of a buffer to start playing with.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff coming out here for KC. And I gotta say, for Shopify, a little bit maybe overzealous coming into this round. You even saw towards the end there a green kit coming out here for Neuer. She had her Molly, she had her Q orb, and we've been talking about Neuer's Viper coming in on this map, being able to cut off those long lines in middle to make the defender second guess where that his is coming. So be curious to see where Neuer places her Q orb in this round. The KC fans are sending that energy.
Yep. They want them back in this game, and this is KC's map choice. But Dodo not going on the hunt towards middle. Smoke invested. Slows down and limits opportunities. They're going to reset on this mid exploration.
This time around, Shopify Rebellion are slowing things way down. You can see that Q orb I was talking about has been placed in mid, and this is going to make the defenders respect this area. Quick rotations coming out for Glance, and she's still got that recon dart, so that should allow KC to cheat their rotates over.
Oh, this is a lot on Alkia's plate, though. Flash.
This is the first time we're seeing them come into her crosshair, though.
Got to be ready. And a little too slow. Just off the money, and now this could be the flood. It's the green light. It's a go signal. But for the second time of asking, she has the answer. Flash, but no swing. You can see the want, the temptation. They dive down, trying to play between the smokes. And this is a great position. Spotted out 1 for the divide in play. It's all gone chaotic. It's pandemonium. But finally, fights being won out by KC. Mel, Sarah, still alive. And Mel's position finally considered. A quick flick, but no connection. Mel brings us down to a 2v3. A possible scenario, but the spike in a dangerous position. And a missed shot. No problem in the end for Alkia. Just about claiming that 4th round back. It gives them a small window of chance, Potter, but it is small, right? This has to be a near-on perfect second half. Shopify have sent a hell of a message.
Red Bull gives you wings.
See you later, mate. All the best.
for the best. Something real, something raw, not accidental, no, I'm sure. Something real, something raw, not accidental, no, I'm sure. No, I've never been sorry.
1, 2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed. 1, 2, 3, your attention's all I need. 4, 5, 6, don't let it slip. 1, 2, 3, I don't know who else to be. 4, 5, 6, like they say I can't be fixed. 1, 2, 3, your attention's all I need. 4, 5, 6, don't let it slip. I don't have any favorite, just give me any kind. Even if it hurts a bit, I think I will be fine. 24/7, all I do is procrastinate.
Well, smiles all around for Shopify. 8 rounds is a fantastic takeaway from the first half. KC did claw back those 2 towards the end, making it up to 4. Checking in on the Coinbase Econ report, it is going to be Alexis actually kind of being the standout for us here. Bit of an unsung hero, but with the side swap coming in now, where are you looking? What are you looking for from these teams?
You know, I think KC have done just enough to kind of carry that momentum into this attack side. I love me a double initiator comp. They're really going to have over information to relay over to Alkia to really pick the most optimal site wherever they want to execute. KC should have the information to be able to have that process of elimination throughout this whole half.
Okay, so they've got the tools to be able to do this. It's not impossible, but I think it has to start with a pistol here. When you're at a deficit like this, you kind of need to get that under the belt.
Yes, and you know, this map, Defense of Abyss, is so known for just losing out on those sites. Once the pace changes and the attackers find that gap, it's so hard to hold down the fort. So I'm looking at Alexis and I'm looking at Noya, the 2 anchors on this map. This B site is going to be a hot point of contention.
It looks for KC like they want to start with a glance towards middle, right? Take that look, see what it's looking like out here. And it's with intent, right? They're going to post up one, get themselves situated. Trying to show a lot, but look where that spike's heading. This is not committed towards A.
It's not, and you know, you said the glance is towards middle, but glance did start towards A, and right now it looks like KC, they want to contest towards this B main. You see that quick regroup coming, but on Celia, she's trying to sell a fake towards A.
But you want to see how these two fared, right? Alexis and Noya, and they're passing with flying colors. They didn't look phased for a second. And the critical, the vital pistol round falling away for KC. Shopify Rebellion again. Flawless to start with. Christine, they looked good.
They look more than good. You're absolutely right, Lauren. And I was worried about the anchors coming through, the defenses from SRG. But look at this wall coming out from Viper, just completely cutting off the entire line. You feel group, but all of a sudden you can't help your teammates. No trades going in your favor. And then SRG are just thriving in that chaos. Beautiful flood, beautiful collapse. And KC, they're going to be talking to each other about, hey, listen, Glance, I need your shock darts to break all of this util right now.
Well, that's what's going to be on the cards for them, and it's not going to be easy. The time for a test. Quick pop with the util. Man, look at this site. It is Spam City. Alexis going to be overwhelmed here, though. Goes down swing, going to take one. Noya! Oh, yeah, line him up, knock him down. Go on, Glance. Ain't going to be. All right, Shopify. 3 left alive. Man, they look scary like this. 10 rounds found in the blink of an eye.
And you saw how quickly Alexis, the killjoy coming through for SRG, reacting. They're not going to let Celia have any sort of looks. As soon as that suppress was even chanced at shutting them down, just pre-procking it, not allowing them to get close.
Your biggest mistake.
So for SRG, I mean, I think 3 or 4 members stayed alive. They're going to be beaming with money coming into their bonus.
Being quite frugal about it all, though. Going to be sticking down on, what, the Guardian, the Bulldogs, and a couple of pistols around it. Best chance yet for KC. But, I mean, their purchase is going to be lacking in a lot of areas. You've still got those Guardians out. They do at least have the full shields.
It's a really early KO Molotov to push off this U-Haul. That's going to give GX a lot of confidence to cross, but the turret crosses or spots the cross right at the last second.
See how they problem solve this, though. That someone slipped the net. They know about one. There could have been more. Turret gets handled and a cross back from GX. But already reactions made by Shopify sitting super deep. Look how well Mel's sitting. I mean, basically back by spawn. So a complete reset across the board.
Defenders handling this really well, making the attackers have to poke and prod a little bit more before they gain any advantages. Now, this drone sound cue towards A main is definitely going to keep Sarah and Dodonut busy, and you can see a little bit of indecision coming through for KC. They originally wanted to go slam B, but a mid-round call coming out, I think that was probably from Glance. But SRG, they haven't moved. I mean, the perimeter, it is strong.
30 seconds left.
Full utility still here, and Mel, she's still got that. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, good. Sarah's still here. Dark goes in. Not going to get the info on the cross, but the spam pretty good. Going to at least connect a touch. Chip away towards one. The side looking more vulnerable. A plant now given. Mel still focused. Going to take away Alkia. Backside not safe. Hold on. How are they falling? Shopify! How are you coming back into this? This was not your round. KC had the keys to the castle. That was your chance, and it's just been ripped away.
That is a feels bad. I mean, Dodonut with a little bit of user error, but man, what an easy round to laugh off. If you're KC, that is salt in the wound. A freebie on the table up for grabs, but SRG, we talked about it, their perimeter, their defense, how they were reacting and moving around the map was so good. And even with the lack of weaponry, they're just able to make this bonus look so clean. This round was a little too easy for SRG.
Yeah, it should never have been like that. Also, what the hell did Alexis just do with that ghost, man? Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, take your time out. That's a tilter, right? That was your fight back in. And you got a free entry. You don't get them often, right? This is a tough spot.
Absolutely tough. I mean, for KC, they're going back and looking at their finances, looking at what ultimates are coming back online to kind of posture for any sort of comeback. And at least for KC, they've got the crowd on their side. They've got the energy and the aura revolving around them. They've really got to look at this as a marathon, truly. Map 1, warm up into it. There's still map 2, map 3, and there's still this first half to really regain your composure.
Exactly, right? It's not done yet. It's not over. But they need to use this as building blocks. It can't be the end now. I want to see activations from these players. Take some risks, make some moves. They did everything right to an extent. I mean, I don't think they did anything wrong until they got to the site itself. They were doing the best they could. They got that nice pressure towards middle, forced away Mel, made them play a little bit deeper. But again, that B site looks horrific to try and play into. So the map feels small right now, but let's see what they do here. Again, you got Stingers, you got some Sheriffs, I think, maybe just one at you a glance. So Dodonut already on that Outlaw, looking to go farming here. Light shields galore, barring Safia, but Mel already with the beginning. GX has gone down. Oh, they're just, immovable at this point. Not getting the fights that KC would want.
Yeah, broken by coming through for KC, and I think I even noticed their smoke in mid missing and leaving a gap. So KC are definitely going to have to regroup here. They were able to get the spike, though. They should be able to get the spike down here. I don't think SRG are going to risk it, unless...
I mean, after that, you get a bit curious, don't you? Temptation beckoning. Lance trying to buy him a little bit of time maybe for this plant, but... they're looking for a pick. You're not going to get one, I'm going to be honest. Look at this. 3 players stacked up and Mel immovable. Glance, big shots though. Okay, hold on. Maybe. Bloody hell, Glance. You gave it a damn good go, I'll give you that. But it has got Shopify Rebellion up to 12.
And not only are those feel-good shots, but it did in fact put the Hunter's Fury online for the IGL side of KC. So that should be somewhat of a glimmer of hope, at least coming into what might be the last round of this first map. But KC, Sova, expecting some sort of Hunter's Fury play coming out here, especially if she gets this drone tag.
Would be dreamy at this point. So 3 plays stacked towards the A side. Dodonut going in for the flash and takes the space. Also takes huge pick. Mel away, Safia. There we go. That's much better. Good info on this as well.
Casey able to proc this Viper gas towards that B, and they're happy with the opening picks. Gonna go and just regroup, keep this one simple. And you can see that SRG, they're re-aggressing, trying to find any sort of equalizer that they can. And there is no Sentinel on the side of KC, so at this point, though, in the round, they should be aware that it's way too free on the A site. We better hold our back lines. And for SRG, they just want to do money damage. Try to get as many kills as they can. Sophia is just up for an ace.
Why not?
Go get your ace.
Alexis is out of there, by the way. Alexis is going so far away, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Way to be a killjoy, literally, Alexis. So that's not going to happen, but a confidence booster, right? As silly as it sounds when you're facing 12 rounds, these small things make it feel at least possible, right?
Absolutely.
Brilliant start. Safia able to open up the round and then follow it up, right? Huge stuff.
One round at a time, one round at a time.
Yep.
And for KC, they didn't have to use the Hunter's Fury this round either. I mean, Safia just found those 2 opening kills and made this round easy. So another round where KC is going to be able to call out one of their best strats that they have in the playbook. Revolving around 2 ultimates now. And I mean, just 1 orb away from this KO ultimate as well. Yeah, those are some clean shots.
Yep.
And it's exactly what you need if you're KC.
W's in chat. There it is. All good. No need for a timeout in Shopify's mind. They're happy to continue going as they are. Don't blame you. And also, you probably don't want to give KC another opportunity. So keep going as you are. A couple of ults in play for Shopify too. But KC, it has to be perfect. Can't really take the foot off the gas. And it looks simplistic in approach though. Direct in towards A, deep flashes, no one there to receive it. Shopify already playing very deep off site.
You saw Kia try to float and dash into that nest window, and a lot of aggression here in this post plant. They're not playing on their side of the wall. They don't want to give this Mel Astra any sort of chance in this retake protocols.
I like this. KC trying to stay postured up, trying to stay in control of the site. No opportunity to flood back in easily. Trying to be set into motion by maybe the Aldrone, but GX tries to... Wait, it's actually Alkia playing through that CT side smoke. I feel like a little unnecessary at times, and now it starts to crumble. 4 players standing for Shopify, and just the 2 on the other side. KC now trying to do what they can. It was a desperate attempt, but desperation is not the answer here. Shopify making it through this map like it was nothing in the end. A little close on this, but the defuse is there. Calm under pressure in the end. 13-5. Shopify make it out of KC's map, looking unscathed.